Hi there, my name is Courtney Schultz. I'm the Senior Marketing Representative with Charlotte Area Transit System. I want to thank you for being here today for CAT's first installment of our series, The Future is Golden, a series that will share key information about the CityLYNX Gold Line Phase 2 streetcar project. Phase 2 is the extension of the existing streetcar alignment for 2.5 miles. This will extend to the west 2 miles from the Charlotte Transportation Center to Front Street in Charlotte's historic West End. It will also extend to the northeast by half a mile along Hawthorne Lane through Novant Presbyterian Hospital over Independence Boulevard to Sunnyside Avenue. Phase 2 will also include 11 additional stops and will use new streetcar technology that uses hybrid technology. Today's conversation will focus on a key stage of part of the Phase 2 project, testing. And to help me with this topic today, I have David McDonald, who is the Transit Planning Manager with CAT and the project lead of the CityLYNX Gold Line project, as well as Silvester Fulmore, who's the CAT Safety Coordinator for our streetcar technology. So to get us started, let's just kind of jump right into what does this testing phase mean and what is it referring to?
So I'll take a stab at that. Testing, basically, there'll be several different kinds of testing that it happens. There's a contractor's standalone testing to make sure that he's ready to turn the project over to the city, and that will be allow them to reach completion of their piece of it. There's an integrated testing piece as part of that where the contractor needs to be there, but we're bringing out the vehicles. And so CAT staff is also there as we're doing some of the testing. And then once all of that's completed, we'll reach a phase called substantial completion. It's when the contractors turn the project over to us. And then we'll bring the vehicles out, and you'll really see them in the daytime, and we'll do what's called pre-revenue testing. And during the pre-revenue testing, we'll simulate streetcar service, but it won't be open yet. The vehicles will be driving up and down or operating up and down the street, but no passengers at that time. The main reason we do this is to try to get an understanding of the system as a whole, make sure all the components are working, and make sure they continue to work as we operate for many hours a day like we will once we open for service.
And so how long do these phases take?
So the contractor's piece will probably take a month to 2 months for his, including the integrated testing. Pre-revenue testing probably takes about 3 to 4 months, depending on what we find as we go. If everything works perfectly, time will go shorter. Things tend not to work perfectly. That's when you kind of stress the system. You find things that may not work correctly. We identify those and we fix them. And that's contractors still on the hook to help us with that, as well as the manufacturer of the vehicle. And once it's corrected, then we'll test it again and make sure that we really did fix it. Okay. Once all that's done, then we're ready to open. Okay.
And so why does this testing need to happen? And what does it mean for the progress of the project?
So it's the final stage when we are transitioning out of construction, the project's being finished, and we're ready to go to operations to start carrying passengers. It's that opportunity for us to make sure our operators are trained, they get experience operating on the alignment, they know what's going on with the vehicle, they get their schedules down, they get their procedures down. It's also the same time we kind of stress test all of the equipment to make sure all the components of the streetcar are working as they were designed.
And how does testing impact pedestrian or vehicular traffic, and how can people stay safe during these testing phases?
Well, during the testing stage, vehicular traffic had to be rerouted. We have pedestrians traffic had to be rerouted, and we often got to close off, streets and make different routes and reroute traffic for pedestrians.
Okay.
And that's certainly true. The integrated testing phase and the contractor testing phase. Most of the time, we do that at night. Some of that does occur during the daytime. One of those is the contractor's got what's called a mock-up vehicle, and it's basically a template that looks like a cross-section of the streetcar. And they'll roll it along the alignment, and they use that for two reasons. One is to check to make sure we have clearances around the platforms before we bring out the expensive vehicles. We don't want to bump the platform with them, and to make sure the overhead wire is correctly aligned and tensioned. That typically can occur during the day with lane closures. The stuff where we bring out the vehicle for the first time is done at night. And then when we get to the pre-revenue phase, the streetcar will come out and operate in mixed traffic. It's, a legal vehicle to operate in the street. And so as we get near that phase, we will also increase our information to the public about being aware of the vehicle, staying clear of the vehicle, but it's going to operate with the same traffic laws that cars do. And so pedestrians should be aware of it, because streetcars are very quiet, and so it can kind of sneak up on you. You do need to be paying attention when you're out there.
Great. And what are some tips or tricks that you can provide for vehicular traffic to make sure that they're staying with enough space or enough safety precaution when they do see those streetcars on the alignment?
Well, we ask that, when vehicular traffic stay at least 10 feet, behind the streetcar. Always be aware, pay attention to the pedestrians and anybody that's crossing into the oncoming traffic. So we ask that everybody just stay safe and remain cautious.
Great. And to reiterate, what are kind of the key things that you're looking for during that testing phase, and what are things that can go wrong, and what happens when those things go wrong?
I mean, the key for us is to ensure that the system works as it's designed, the operators get their training in place, and that they get familiar with the vehicle and operating in the street, and that we're continuing to meet all of those milestones on our plans for pre-revenue service, so that we can certify the vehicle ready to operate and the project ready to open.
So what does happen after CATS and the contractor go through that testing phase?
So once the testing phase is completed, we get the sign-offs on the certifications that the vehicle is ready to operate, and then we transition into the fun phase, where we get to cut the ribbons and open the project and bring our patrons in to celebrate an opening of a streetcar, and we begin running it in regular revenue service.
Great. And so when are we expected to, is this whole process supposed to end, and when are we planning or estimating an opening?
So we have until, by contract with the federal government, until August of next year to be able to complete the project. Our goal and our target is to complete the project by the spring of next year. That takes into account all of that testing time period, as well as correcting anything that kind of pops up. But that's subject to change if we identify a problem that takes a little longer to resolve. It's not as weather dependent, but pieces of that are, and so it's getting through all of that to the end, and making sure that when we're ready to open, that we have a safe and efficient operation.
Great. And is there anything else during this next phase or these next few months that you just want to make sure the public knows as we move forward with the project?
I think it's exciting to finally get to the end. I know that there's been a tremendous amount of construction, that it's really dragged on, and we understand that. We appreciate the public's patience, and we are looking forward to opening this project and celebrating a new technology within Charlotte. The vehicles are hybrid technologies, so they'll operate off-wire through the heart of Uptown. Gives us an opportunity to kind of test that technology in a real-world environment. Right now, we've designed a small section that is off-wire. Our goal is, over time, is potentially be able to extend that as this project extends further to the east and to the west. Ultimately, it's a 10-mile project. This will complete 4 miles of that. We're finally getting to our new vehicles, and so they're going to be more comfortable. They're going to look like a light rail vehicle. They're going to be quieter, and we look forward to be able to bring this amenity to Charlotte.
Great. Well, appreciate you guys being here with me. For the folks at home, it's really important for cats that we keep you safe and that we keep you informed. So we ask that you please tune in or follow us on our social media outlets. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also go to ridetransit.org to our CityLYNX Gold Line project page for all the updates with the project and with this testing phase. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 704-336-7433. Thanks and have a great day.